Okay, so you're probably wondering why the change of environment. Big things have happened. The success of this season, last season, and Series X has brought us together for the long awaited meeting of the masses, too. Now, we all may not be here, but for those of us who did make it, how do you feel about some of the upcoming festivities?
Look at me. Probably gonna have to revisit these again because, my hair. I look. Yeah, Back to the Future, it's iconic, it's quotable, it's legendary. The second one's I find better and the third one's fun. Bill and Ted, it's good. Why am I in this spot?
Well, I like a good time travel film. Terminator, T2, X-Men. Yeah, Back to the Future is awesome. Bill and Ted is really, really fun. I did like Face the Music. It was a good third entry. Back to the Future 3 is cool, but you can't beat the first. Back to the Future 2, yeah, awesome. Bill and Ted, the funniest one has to be Bogus, or maybe Excellent. I don't know what else to say.
Those are fair points. Like, we've gotten a celebrity on the show. And yeah, we got a couple of other celebrities on the show and many other people as well. So, what else can we say? Now, I know what you're thinking. You want a verse off, don't you? Well, that's why we're here. Because we're back. And we've had some mentions of a future. Of course, we had to do this in the past. This is a bogus journey. So I hope you're ready for an excellent adventure. So where do you guys stand?
I just want to know where's Wally. Oh, that was a terrible Chewbacca impression.
Well, Marty, he's a musician, he's in a band, and Bill and Ted, they're musicians, they're in a band. They have their gig and then they get pushed aside, and Marty, his band gets pushed aside. He gigs with another band, and Bill and Ted, they have their gig. They go back to the past, to the future. They meet people of history, and in Back to the Future, they meet people of their history, not otherworldly people that are with me drink.
Again, fair point. There's 3 films in both franchises, games, cartoons, comics, merchandise, figures. Bill and Ted are fun. All 3 films are good. Like, Face the Music is good, and Bogus and Excellent, I'd say they're great. Like, you get a little lost and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so silly. But it's entertaining. But what ones do you think are better?
Yeah, of course, this is mine. This is my series within the series. I mean, seriously.
I know this is the Captain's series, but when you do a lot of traveling back and forth, you not only meet people, but you bring people together, and that's the whole point of these franchises. Now, so you got the 2 main guys of both franchises. You know what? I'll let the Captain speak. I'll scare you later.
Like, you weren't expecting it to be like this. You would have thought I would have been on the river. Well, I can't go on the river unless I have me ship. This is a thing. This is what happens when you tamper with time. And this is what happens when you do a remix. There's changes. Yarv. And, misread title. No, you didn't misread anything. This is Back to the Future crossover with Excellent and Bogus and Face the Music. So yeah, 3 films each, franchise. And they face themselves throughout both franchises. Like Marty, he doesn't see his future self. He sees his son. Jennifer, she sees her future self, and the Doc confronts his future self or past self. But that's another thing, when you're in the past, you're in the future. When you're in the future, you're in the past. And, Marty does see his former self play on stage, and his former self runs out past Marty, and then Biff confronts that Marty. So yeah, it does happen. So he's watching himself, but there's no full exchange. Like, no conversation like Doc, no coming face to face. He just watches, and then his other self passes him. And yeah, so it's different. Biff confronts his old self, and so that's a lot like in Bill and Ted's Adventures. I think it's the second. They've got their evil selves and they're living their lives, and they're like, no, we're the real Bill and Ted. No, we are. And then they've got Robo Bill and Ted's, and death is in there. And they finally make their break in Face the Music, and like there's a great cameo of Primus. Again, I think the second one, or it might be in the first. And Huey Lewis in the news is in Back to the Future. So yeah, and the time machine, the time machine Back to the Future is legendary, and then the phone booth time machine in Bill and Ted is iconic. It's sort of like the TARDIS in a way. And the original conception of the time machine was a fridge in Back to the Future. That was referenced in Crystal Skull, which yeah, there's a nuclear bomb, and to generate time travel, you need a nuclear bomb equivalent, which is the electricity. So, R. And there's a rumor that Indy will time travel in Dial of Destiny, and well, I think I've dialed it in, but there's a fair few things in common with Back to the Future and Bill and Ted, like the time travel, the meeting of the other selves, going to different parts of history, but Bill and Ted go all over the world. They meet princesses and historical figures, but Marty and Doc, they don't travel the world. They just go back to different parts of Hill Valley. To see them travel the world more and will be good, but it will be seen as a copy, and time for a drink. Bon voyage.